Dazeys, just a little special announcement from the Tea Palms over here. Our Daisy Dream Circle is back. Woohoo! So if you missed out the first time, we are back. Do not miss out. This is our first one for 2025 and it is falling on a new moon. So we are aligning with all the universal energies to get mystical, wild and woo-woo and just up-leveled as fuck and intentional as we call in our greatest year yet. So join us on Monday, the 28th of April at 1:30 p.m. PST US time for our New Year manifesting and visualization session. So you'll be calling upon your infinite power within to create the life that you dream of into existence for 2025. Join us and connect with other like-minded daisies as we harness the collective energy to amplify our intentions and bring them to life. This year, we're doing something really special. So we are bringing our own manifesting vision boards to life utilizing Once Upon. So we will be sharing with you our books for the year. And it's pretty wild, guys, because we made these books in January. And I have to say, a number of things have already come to fruition. We are so excited to see you there. To find out more information and buy your tickets online, go to yourzenmama.com. All right, Daisy, see you there.
Myself just then.
Oh my God. I love that the start of this show is just your ass, like just the side of your ass. Hello.
Oh my God. Welcome to the Mother Daze podcast. I am Sarah Wright Olsen.
And I'm Teresa Palmer. Palmer. Or Palmer in American. Palmer.
She's a Palmer.
Teresa Palmer. Not Teresa Palmer. Sounds so much better in American. You
I
do.
feel like all I'm being now these days is this. Just trying to hold up.
Just holding that. We were just
falling down.
We were just showing each other our bums on camera.
I was like, oh my God, you have to see how big my bum is. And
Mine
then
is
was
massive.
Like, me too. And it just looks like us as showing each other our butts on the screen. And I'm like, if Eric walked in right now, I would die.
What are you guys doing? Oh my God. My bum is so big now. It's like my bum is pregnant. Like the pregnancy's gone to my bum. And of course, Mark's like, juicy it. Like he loves it. He loves a big.
Nice
but
love.
I'm like, feel like I can't be in a bikini. I am embarrassed about my bum size, but only because it's like, I want one of those juicy, chunky, sexy
like
bums.
A bubbly one. Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
but this just is like kind of still the flat mum shape, but just big. And then I don't know about you, but this pregnancy, I have got so much cellulite on my ass.
Yeah,
We're keeping
too.
it real right now. So much cellulite. And coming down I'd never have it at the front, coming down the front, coming down the back. I was like, oh, hello, new body. Pregnancy changes. Cool. Embracing, trying to.
I think I was talking to my friend about it because I was like, wow, like I do notice every pregnancy I get cellulite, quite a bit of it. And I was like, but this time it really feels like it's really locked in, like really there.
Amped up a notch.
And she was like, I think it's just like water retention, your body's like holding on to things and doesn't know where to put it. And I was like, that's a good way to think about it. Like, it's not just.
Do those like cellulite massages work? Like where, how those like things that people go and get done, like, is it the lymph massage or whatever?
The lymphatic massage, right?
That's it. Yeah. And people are like, that eradicates cellulite. I've just decided I'm going to kind of ignore it. And then after the baby is born and I'm in my flow, if I'm still feeling self-conscious about it, then I'll like start trying to do all the things. But usually it kind of is like a pregnancy thing and then it goes away. I know that's not the case for everyone, but
Yeah. I would say that's the case. That's usually what happens with me. I mean, there's always some version of it there, and which is fine. But right now we're at max capacity. So.
You're like, we good. We don't need any more of that.
We're good, right?
I see you. No. I see you loud and clear.
I had like a scan the other day. So we've moved to a new city, and I have a new care provider that I met with who's amazing. And she's, it's a woman too, which is really cool because I haven't had a woman since I had a midwife, right? So she's awesome. And she delivered my friend's baby. And she came over, she listened to the baby, and then I was supposed to go get a scan that day. So I went to this guy's office and did a scan, and it was a little bit more in depth. And he was like, wow, your baby's belly is huge. And I was like, oh, really? Like,
you're like I have big babies. Thank you.
Is this like abnormal? He was like, well, and let's just say like, okay, so I'm not this far along, right? But I'm going to tell you what he said because it was crazy. It was like at least 4 or 5 weeks ahead of what I'm at. So he was like, your baby's belly is like measuring at 32 weeks and your baby's femur is measuring at 30 weeks. And I was like, okay, what are you saying? And he was like, well, the baby's like 5 pounds right now. And I was like, oh my God.
Here we go again.
I know. We started doing the thing where I was like, okay, Googling, because I can never remember. I'm like, how much weight does a baby gain from, this amount of weeks on? Like if you're at like 25 weeks or 28 weeks, like how much do they gain on, or 30 weeks? Like, and it seems like it's like like half a pound or something. And so
per week?
Yeah. Or like, am I wrong? Is that wrong? Is it 5 ounces?
I think you're gonna. You'll at least have a 10-pounder. At least.
Yeah. And then you know how you are like, you see like the emails from what to expect when you're expecting. And it's like, oh, you go into your 30-week scan or whatever. And it's like, and your baby will double or even triple in size from right now. And I was like,
fantastic, 15 pounds. Awesome.
I was like, what? No. Not allowed. And right now we're on this like vacation and I'm eating everything in sight, everything. Like
I've been like that too.
There's no
restrictions. No. You're like, give it to me, baby.
Yeah. And someone made these, I saw that there was like gluten-free churros and I was like, gluten. Oh my God, that was something came into the frame back here. It freaked me out as a balloon.
Oh my God. I was like, what is this? I thought that you saw the churros behind you and you got really excited.
Can you see this balloon right here?
I can't see it.
Here, I'll turn the thing. Do you see
I see them.
So I saw that there was like gluten-free churros and I was like, oh my God, I have to try this. And I ate so many of them. It was awful. And then I had the worst acid reflux that night. And I've had it for like at least 2 to 3 days I go to bed at night and it's just like everything comes up into my throat. And I was like,
oh my God,
I need to go back to eating like normal. I can't keep eating whatever I'm doing. It's killing
vacation
me.
Eating. It's a thing. I love it. You should indulge. Like, if you can't indulge now, then when can you really? Like, enjoy these last couple of however many weeks you have left.
2.5 months. More than that. Maybe 3. I don't know.
We don't know. Maybe this baby's like gets to 10 pounds. It's like, I'm out. I'm coming out.
I mean, that's the thing is that you never know, right? Like my other 2 came right on time. And then Winter was 11 days late.
She was, I remember. And we were all like, what, hello? are you still wanting to come out now? What's happening? You're very cozy
I
in there.
know. So you just don't know. It's like... Anybody have any predictions? I really want somebody to get.
I did. I remember doing that last time and it was so fun.
Yeah.
And a number of people guessed our date.
How are you feeling? Because you're at a really amazing place in your pregnancy right now.
Yes, I'm just over 4 months now.
Yeah.
Pregnant, guys. But my belly looks like I'm 6 months at least, maybe 7. I just caught up with my girlfriend whose name I still can't say because she hasn't announced yet. But anyway, she's 3 weeks behind me. She listens to the pod. She's one of my bestest friends in all the land. And we tried to recreate the Sarah Teresa pregnancy belly photo. I've got to send you the pictures. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous because she is just so flat tummied. She's trying so hard to push out her stomach. I was like, are you going to fart? Like, you don't have to push that hard. She has got the tiniest little itty bitty, like nothing. Like you can barely see anything, which is why it's so funny that we keep trying to do these belly shots. But I have like a little group with her and our other friend Amy. Shout out Amy. She's our Daisy who's pregnant. She's 3 weeks ahead of me. So there's only 6 weeks between the three of us. And so me and Amy have really popped, but our other friend really has not. But it's so good because we keep talking about like everything that's going on in the different stages we're at. And my new thing is dry heaving and gagging at everything.
Oh no.
Suddenly I am winter where anything I can think about something, I can smell a little something. So Forrest puked this morning.
Oh God, no.
Into his bowl. And I went in there, I was like, yeah, he had a bowl next to him. So anyway, he had to leave my premiere. I had a premiere for the last anniversary. Woo woo, out now on Binge. You guys check it out. And it's about to come out in America on AMC on the 30th of April. Wait, is that April? No, March. Sorry, 30th of March. And anyway, so he had to leave my premiere. And I was like, oh, something's wrong. So Isaac took him back to the hotel. Mark was working. And I was like, oh, boy, he's coming down with something. Like this kid never complains about anything. And he burst into tears at my premiere and left after he watched the TV show. I was like, did you not like it? What happened? And he was like, I feel sick. Anyway, so he went back and just hearing any kind of snot, if I hear snot, like just someone like, like snorting, spitting anything out, anything like that tips me over the edge. The other day I went into the bathroom, Mark had just done a poo. I walked in and I smelt that and I vomited. I literally was like, bleh. Like it was so, and I was on the way, I was shooting a cover of a magazine here in Australia and I was just like, like right before I arrived at the magazine. And so I kept thinking, maybe I just need some food in my belly because I have not been sick since I got into my second trimester, but just this, I think it might be mental because I've just got it in my head now that like any smell, anything gross, I cannot handle it. And I hope this goes away. Even brushing my teeth, I gag, which isn't gross, but like putting anything on my tongue, I gag.
I still feel like that.
Really?
Yeah, brushing my teeth still kind of grosses me out. Definitely brushing my tongue grosses me out.
Gross, can't.
Winter struggles big time with brushing her teeth and her tongue. Like I do it for her, but when it gets to her tongue, like she starts to gag. Like she has such a strong gag reflex.
Yeah, that's what's happened to me. And I've never had that before. I could clean up any disgusting thing and just be like, whatever, totally disconnect. This morning carrying out this bowl with the teeniest, tiniest bit of like whatever it was in there.
That would have killed me.
I was like, Mark. And he thought something was wrong. I was bent over being like, and he was like, what is going on? And I was like, you need to do this. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Like, it was the craziest thing. Anyway, but apart from that, I feel like a new woman. My energy is back. I am killing it. I can do whatever. I just... Thank God. That first trimester really knocked me for 6 in terms of my energy and my nausea.
Which is so crazy because we didn't even get to talk about it when it was happening.
I know.
You were so sick and I didn't even know it.
Because of our little surprise. And guys, your reaction was so good. Sarah, do you know how many people have messaged me far and wide about your reaction? People are just like, that is the best thing I've ever seen on the internet. It was my favorite moment. I've watched it. I mean, people have watched this hundreds of times. I have watched it, no joke, I would say about 120 times. And I've shown so many people and whatever. My favorite moment
so genuine.
is the second wave of shock. The first wave was amazing. The second wave, you just went like this. You had this moment where you went, huh? And then you just freeze. And then you just freeze.
I bet like 8,000 things were going through my head at that moment. I think that's what was, I was just like running back over like all the times I've seen you on, you know, like Zoom and all the things you've been doing. And like everything was just like flooding into my brain. It was like brain overload. And everyone that knows me knows I can only do one thing at a time. So it was like
hop is my
processor was frozen. But my favorite part was when I was like, how did you do that?
That's so good. I was like, my husband used his willy. And I've got a vagina.
I just love that I asked that question. Like, what? Are you an idiot?
I'm so confused as to which day we conceived as well, because as you guys know, it was 30 days of sex.
30 days of sex.
So I have because my ovulation's been like back and forth and early and late and early. Like, I actually don't know when it could have. I'm like, wow, when could it have been? And then I drunk through Christmas Day. I got plastered. I was like, oh no, that poor little tiny fetus. It wasn't even a fetus then, like ball of cells.
They say it's okay, like before you know, like, you know.
I hope so.
You're fine.
But when I went to my scan, I got moved up a day and they were like, we're going by this date now. I was like, okay.
Oh.
I know.
I always measure so far ahead and I always am like, they're going to move it. They're going to move it. And they haven't moved
I think they do it. They moved me at my 12 week. That's when they moved the date up. And I haven't had a scan since then, but the 12 week went really well. And then I have been listening to, this is my baby Doppler that I listened. This is it. My baby.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have that
Sonoline B, baby Doppler. Yeah. And I find it like immediately now. Like I just put it on. The moment it touches the belly, it's like, obviously because I'm further along now, but I really recommend them. But not everyone will enjoy the experience of it, but because like you, Sarah, I have an anterior placenta. So our movements and the feelings, we don't have them nearly as intense as other people. I always have anterior. Have you ever not had an anterior placenta?
I don't remember. You know, I don't know that like before that I really asked, or maybe I just forgot. I don't know, but I asked this time because I was like, it's weird. I normally feel kicks like more aggressively, like at least like the feeling of the like blowing on the inside of your belly, that like fluttering feeling. I usually felt that earlier, like 16, 17 weeks. And I mean, it wasn't until the day of the fire that I really felt where I was like, oh, that's is a kick. Baby. Like before I was like gas bubble maybe, or like it was, remember I kept saying to you, like, it's so hard for me. I can't tell if it's actually happening. And it was making me like freak out. So I actually don't know, but I will say that this pregnancy, I find myself communicating more with the baby and like pressing my stomach more to get the baby like activated, and so that the baby will like, you know, kick me and bounce around and move in certain places so that I can like kick count and all that. And and I'm doing that because I don't feel as much. But I will. Okay, so here I'll show you. I just had my like checkup with my doctor, and let me see, if you're watching YouTube, you can see this. So I'll show you my bump. But so what she said was, right now, baby's head is here at the bottom.
Good.
Normally, my baby's whole back and everything is here, and the feet end up over here.
She said on the right side of the belly.
Yeah, this time, right now at least, baby's head is here, body is here,
wrapped around the left side.
Like, somewhere over here, and then and this is where I'm getting all the kicks.
The kicks up there, like under your rib. Under your right rib.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whereas before when baby was smaller, it was like happening in the front and I wasn't feeling anything.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
Now I can feel it, but I still have to activate baby. I still have to go like, okay, let's wake up. Let's like boom, boom, boom. Let's like dance around a little bit. You know, I'll drink something really cold or
that really helps.
Yeah. And it'll start, if I lay back a little bit in the chair, which is not the best way to sit when you're really pregnant, because you want baby to like keep getting that back to belly. But if I lay back a little bit, then all of a sudden it's like boom, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it because you're making the house smaller? You're like closing in?
It constricts, right? When you like lay back a little bit more, like
it goes triangular shaped when you lean back. It's so funny because at my photo shoot they were like, can you squat and now kind of lean back into it? And then suddenly my stomach started doing the weirdest shape and they were like, no, don't, sorry,
you
just
don't
do that.
No, I just mean like laying back in a chair. But if you're like leaning, you'll notice
using your ab
what
muscles.
happens is your like ab muscles separate, right? And they start to go to the outsides of your belly. So that's why some people get diastasis recti, because it doesn't come all the way back together.
Yes, which is what you had.
Yes, and I still have it. So there will always be this like gap, right? But right after. But the triangle comes in between that gap.
It's all the soft stuff sticking out.
Yeah. All the
Mine is so triangular. If I ever try to lie back, like even just the littlest bit,
you'll see it.
I can see it. And it looks so strange, like a weird cone. In our scan, our baby would not cooperate. And the woman had to, in the 12 weeks, she was like, I really need to measure the heart, like the ventricles in the heart. She was like, I can get everything. I can get everything, but I can't get this. So then she was like, go to the toilet, empty your bladder, come back. Nothing. She was like, figure of eights. Like, come on, we need to like get the baby to move in the position. Because at first the baby was like partying and dancing and she could get everything. And then Mark spoke to the baby and was like, we want to go home. We really want to we really want to see this part on your body. We're waiting here until we can see it. Can you move for us? And sure enough, the baby moved and she got the little heart and everything was perfect and normal. And I was like, oh my God, it totally listened to Mark's voice. That was so stinking cute. And do you know what is so weird? You know, everyone knows I'm not finding out the gender. I'm having my very first surprise because I'm nervous as my last baby. And what if I don't ever get that experience again? Also, I have totally equal genders. I have boy, boy, girl, girl. So I have like zero preference. I will say I probably had a leaning for a gender in other pregnancies. And I think a lot of people liked it. Like I know my girlfriend just found out and she didn't get the gender that her preference, but she has like 9 months to just fall in love with this little creature. And I loved that too. Like I loved knowing early on. And this time around, it's sort of such a wild card. I'm just kind of like, whatever this baby is, as long as it's healthy, is so exciting, but I'm still doing it. Mark's like, why are you doing this? You're looking for a penis or a vagina on the scan. He was like, so then if you don't want to know, don't look. But if you do want to know why are you looking? And then now I've done the full thing where I've gone into the nub theories and stuff where I'm like, oh, the nub is pointing this way. I think it must be a boy. Or so in my head, I'm like, okay, or everything points. The morning sickness points to a girl for me because I wasn't sick with a boy. So the morning sickness really points to a girl for me. However, timing wise, and timing doesn't always work, but timing wise really points to a boy. Like the way I got pregnant with the boys was like this, having sex every day, all the time.
Yeah.
That happened with me with both the boys. And with the girls, it was very sporadic and like one attempt that cycle. So I'm like, okay, that points to a boy for me. But then I saw this little nub, like a little nub that looked like a penis on the scan. And I was like, I think there's a penis. But then when I looked further into it, apparently all the babies have nubs at 12 weeks and like the nub will turn into a clitoris or extend out into a penis. So I'm like, okay, I obviously don't want to know, but I'm still kind of doing investigatory work into knowing. And I think the name will stay the same no matter what. Like I have a name.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It's the name. You know how I had that name that it was always going to be the baby, right?
Yes.
You know, the name.
Yeah.
And then Mark was like, I'm not sure about the name.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. And then so I went, which I feel like you guys kind of went through a similar thing too, where you had the name and then you both were like, well, hang on, let's just do some exploring. Is there a different name?
Yeah.
And so we have gone on is there a different name? But then I had a dream. I had a very vivid dream about 4 weeks ago where Frankie, my baby mama, in the dream, this is not real, this is a dream, everyone. My baby mama, Frankie, Franca, oh my
that was
God.
her name in the dream.
Yes, that was her name, yeah. She had twins via surrogacy. So she had boy-girl twins, which, we all know that I was trying to call in boy-girl twins. Anyway, so in the dream, she had boy-girl twins. And one of the boy was called the name, Sarah, in the dream. She named the boy that name. And then the girl was like Maggie or something. And then I went to meet the babies and I was pregnant. I was as pregnant as I am now in my dream. And she was like, oh, this is my little boy and this is his name. And I was like, Frankie, what? That's my baby's name. And I was like, oh my God, Isaac's going to have two like siblings with the same name. Like, wait, didn't you know that we've always going to be called our baby that name? So the whole dream was me being like, oh my God, Isaac's going to have two siblings of the same name. And then I woke up thinking, did the baby have me dream about this name to be like, this is my name? And then the day after that dream, I saw the name on a restaurant, like right in front of me, a restaurant was called that name. And I was like, whoa, weird. And then even weirder, the next day, I'm walking down the street heading to work and I see a tag with that name. And the tag's just looking at me and I was like, okay, I think the baby is trying to tell me something, that I should stop exploring all these other directions. And this must be the name. And so I went to Mark because he was the one that was like, I'm not fully sure about the name. He's even got a tattoo of the meaning of this name like on his body because we were always certain we were going to have this baby.
That baby.
With the name. Yeah. And so I've sort of landed back there. And the good news is it's so perfect for either gender. But right now I'm feeling boy. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling boy. And Bodhi wants a boy. Forrest wants a boy. Prairie wants a boy. Poet wants a girl. Mark wants a girl, I think. He hasn't told, he wants healthy, but I reckon he wants a girl. Because then he can say he has 3 boys, 3 girls.
I want healthy. Yeah. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but I reckon he loves the idea of being like, my 3 sons, my 3 daughters.
That's really cute.
Anyway, that's where we're at with it.
I had this thought in my head about gender before, and I remember that I had a dream during this pregnancy about the gender, and I woke up the next day and I was like, whoa, that felt so realistic. And I had feelings about it and everything in the dream, like about what the gender was and all of that. And I was like, gosh, I wonder if that is, because it was, you know how like some of the mediums that we've talked to on the podcast have said, like, when you have certain dreams, like you'll notice that you remember a lot of details, you'll have a lot of feelings, like it'll provoke something. And sometimes it's like a visitation versus a dream, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And so this dream felt like a visitation. It felt really real and significant, and it felt almost like premonition.
Yes.
So that when I found out the gender, I was like, I'm literally having deja vu.
This is like, the dream. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like a premonition of what was to come.
I so believe in that.
And I kept being like, no, that's not what it is. It's, whatever. And it was crazy. I was like, wow, this is gnarly.
That's so amazing about our dreams. I've had premonition preparation dreams before.
And they do kind of put you, like my visitation dreams I've had with my dad, or you with your grandmother, your Nana. It's like, it is crazy how different it is than just like a regular dream,
That's how I felt about my name dream.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
It felt so real. I wrote down every single detail. I can still remember every moment of the dream, where I was holding her baby, how I felt about the fact that she had the name.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I have a name for this baby. That's more of like a gender neutral name.
It is, yeah.
Someone said to me, oh, that's the perfect name for this baby, because this baby is going to be very like go with the flow. Like it's going to be like a beautiful representation of what, like at this point in your life, like where you guys have been over the last like however many months, like it's perfect. It's even more perfect now, given everything that's happened. Me too. And what's so funny about it is that, like, I think we were sort of like, is this the name? Is this the name? And now I would say that the one that we're loving, that we're getting to, is like, yeah, it feels really, the only part that I'm still sort of hung up on is the middle name. Like
You have so many good ideas, though. There are so many beautiful names. But I thought you were set on the middle, but maybe you've moved on from that one.
Well, no, we haven't moved on from it. It's still my top contender. Yeah. But there was someone said something the other day, and Eric was like, ooh, I kind of like that. And we've sort of been like testing it a little bit, like, is it this? Is it this? Like naming is so interesting, because you can feel really on with a baby name one day, and like a month later, you can feel like, that is not this baby's name, Like I think it's so good to, we had this chalkboard, you guys know, you saw in a lot of the videos, but we had a chalkboard where we wrote down a bunch of, and different like iterations of it. And we would look at it all the time. And there was just one that kept like standing out, and it's not a name that I saw anywhere. It's not like it popped up into different, like, it's not like I, saw it in my dreams or anything. It's just that every time I saw it, I was like, that's her name,
That is so gorgeous. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I think I've been dead set on all the names this whole time. And with this baby, I've sort of swung between
around.
Yeah, a little bit more. I mean, this has always been the front runner for years and years and years. But yeah, I think we both kind of were like, oh, should we explore something else? But we go and explore a bunch of different names and think, oh, that could be really amazing. And then we still come back. It's not quite as good. You know, those names are really good contenders. Like, oh, that would be a great next baby. Or if you had twins, they would be the two names. But yeah, it's so funny, baby naming. I loved our episode that we did with Grow Little Wildflower. Is that it? Grow Little Wildflower?
Yes, Grow Little Wildflower. Yeah, she has a podcast now, and
we're going on it.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna go on her podcast and talk about baby names and stuff like that, because I reference her Instagram all the time, you guys. If you're like wanting to daydream up names and stuff about babies, like she has so many. Like, I went the other day and it was like girl name vibes, and there's so many good ones.
Many good ones.
I love the name for boy. Oh my God. I love this name. Hold on. It just came up the other day. If you're looking for boy names,
Grow Little Wildflower.
Yeah, you go on there. Oh my gosh, I love Sadie for a girl. I think
Sadie's so gorgeous. Cool. Although the only thing is, I think of the murderer in Charles Manson, the serial killer, Psycho Sadie or whatever they called her. She was the one that actually stabbed Charlie Manson's victim.
Okay, so maybe we don't need that.
I know, but you know, it's not. Sharon Tate, that was her name. Yeah, so Sadie was. I think it was Sadie that murdered her in the end. Anyway, so I do love that name, but every time I hear her, I'm like, the Manson family. But that's just because I listen to so much true crime.
Yeah.
It is really pretty though.
What is it? I like Margot. I think that's cute.
You love that. Oh, I love Posey. If I didn't have a friend, my friend Pippa has a Posey. Poet, Prairie, and Posey. I mean, how stinking cute would that be if it was a girl?
Beyond.
I've always loved Primrose, but Mark thinks it's not of us. It's not. It doesn't have the same vibe.
But it's a little posh. There's something
yes, that's what he said.
More.
I love Fable. Such a dope name.
Fable. I love Fable. I love the name. I love names like oh my God, like for boy, I mean, Wyatt obviously is my son's name. So I like names like James and Henry and,
do you? That's so interesting. Really traditional.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Claire has 4 kids, and I would say all 4 of their names are in the top 5 most popular names in the world.
What?
They are Henry, Charlotte, Sophie, although maybe Teddy's not, like Theodore, Teddy. But yeah, they're all the most popular names. Like they're always on the top 10 lists or even the top 5.
There's gender neutral names that I really, really love. That's hard for me to say out loud because I'm like, what if we end up going to that one?
I know.
But I think we won't use this name because we have a friend's name who's this, but Kai, the name Kai is so
love
cute.
Kai.
For a girl or for a boy. Yeah, I think it's so pretty.
There's also Kaya, which is really pretty. And then for a boy, Koa has got a really gorgeous naming. Has got a really gorgeous meaning. I love Meadow. Meadow's been on the list for so long, but we have a friend who just named their daughter Meadow. I was exploring Summer.
Oh, Summer's great.
I was exploring Summer for a boy or a girl, but then I was like, Summer for a boy. I don't know if I can do it.
We almost named Wyatt Story. You guys know that. Story, it was that gender neutral name where I was like,
that's right.
But then we gave it to Winter for her middle name.
Yeah, that's so nice. Yeah, I thought about Story for a first name. I would say it was in my top 4 for this baby, but it's sort of been bumped down now because I think the baby told me it wants this name. So I'm going to stop double guessing it. And then I did this funny thing where, you know me and my like Reddit stuff and my forums.
Yes.
I went on like a name nerds website and I put this name in just to be like, hey guys, like here are a bunch of the names we were thinking, and I put maybe like 15 different names in. And everyone was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with the name that I said.
Yeah.
For a girl, for a boy, I love that name. And I just kind of went out to like random strangers just to be like, what is the feedback on this name? And everyone was like, that's of the list. Everyone's like, that's the name. That is so gorgeous, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, maybe I just needed like re-energize the feeling behind why we chose the name so many years ago.
Yeah. And I think if you're like, you know, if you've had names on your list for years, or if you're like newly pregnant, now you're like, ooh, what am I going to name this baby? I mean, sometimes people don't want to think about it until later. And I really didn't. For this baby, I was like, okay, I'm just not even going to think about it right now, not until later. And then once I hit like more of like the 20-week mark, I was like, okay, we should get serious and like start writing these names down. And how do you feel about it? And the kids are all like pretty much on the page of like this name. Although sometimes they're like, I don't know, it's like, is that going to be like a weird name? Like, you know, for a boy or for a girl or whatever. But yeah, I think it's good to just keep like, you know, pondering it. And then you'll just know, you'll just have a feeling in your body about it.
My kids call your baby that name.
Yeah.
They're like, when is baby da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da arriving?
You know who I'm talking to? Sometime soon. I think it's in the next like 2 weeks. I'm talking to the Emily, the medium.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She DM'd me too. She's like, if you need anything. Oh my God. I'm so excited to hear what she says about the baby.
Me too, because she's the one who I talk to the most about this soul that I felt like was circling me. And so then what's interesting is a lot of her like original 1.5 years ago stuff that she was talking about sort of came through. And then other people that we've interviewed on the podcast have backed up, like not because they heard it, because it was a private session I did with her. But other people that we've interviewed have been like, oh, this, and this about this soul. And I was like, oh my God, that's what Emily told me. So it's just cool having that sort of like doubled up, you know, information. So,
and I'm such a believer in that. I mean, of course I believe.
I really want to talk before this baby comes earthside, because I really want I just want like a little
some
bit
insight.
more. Yeah. I mean, we've been through a lot. And so there's like something exciting to me about having a little bit of a tap in before we get to the big like birthing day. Like,
oh my gosh.
I'm starting to think about the birthing day.
I'm starting to think about it for you.
I'm a little nervous.
Mine is so far away. Yours is really soon. Or not really soon, but you know what I mean. Soon enough.
To be honest, it really is a couple months. So
yeah, soon enough. Yeah, we don't want people being like, has the baby been born? Like starting from next week.
Care. Like I would tell you guys my date, but I honestly don't believe the date that I've been given is the date. I think what I'm feeling is the baby's going to come on this one specific day, but I don't.
Oh my God, you have to text me what you think.
True or not, but I just am like nervous that if I say, oh, the due date is this date, then because this has happened before where I like don't care and will tell people, and then so many people are like, is the baby come yet? The baby come yet? And you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't even look at my phone.
It is. That is like, and guys, if you're listening to this and you have a friend due any day now, just all you need to say is sending love. If you want to say anything, just send them some love. Don't be like, is the baby here yet? Because you will hear from them when the baby has arrived. You will hear from them. You don't need to be like, hey, just checking in. I know your due date was last week.
Yeah. Or you could even, if you're like a really close friend, you could even just be like, hey, how are you? How are you feeling? You know? And like, if someone asked me that, I'm gonna be like, great, my hips are really hurting, no movement yet, you know, like I'm gonna give them information. But if they're like, baby here yet? I'm like, no,
go away.
And I would obviously tell you that.
Yes. Yeah. Don't stress me out. Oh my gosh, the Jumpy Castle guys have arrived for Bodhi's party and they're just looking at me and I just waved at them and they're like, got their hands on the hips like, yeah, where are we setting this thing up?
Are you doing this soon? Should we jump off then? I love you.
Yeah, I love you. I love you.
You guys, we're going to have lots of this. I think we should have a full-blown like breakdown of some of our birthing chapter on the next episode because I need to prep. I'm a little. I went back to like look at some videos and I was like, oh shit, like it's intense. It's intense.
Yeah, and you have big babies. A vagina, that magical vagina is going to go through.
I was like, oh gosh, I was working so hard. I thought I would be doing more squats than what I've been doing recently. So
oh my God. I got to start jumping into exercise. I've been like, I'm totally atrophied. All right, you guys, you've been listening to the Mother Daze podcast. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts. We love you, Dazeys. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Bye.
Bye.